morning. We are lucky today to be in a wonderful place in the center south of Greece, in Peloponnese, at Aigialeia, or Aigialeia.
Both.
Both.
Welcome.
on, on the mountains of Aigialeia, where the winery of Rouvalis is built and constructed, and we are in their cellar actually. With Theodora Rouvali, that is the owner and the winemaker of the winery, and she will talk us a little bit about her experience before, after, and during the birth and the growth of this wonderful place.
Of course, thank you very much for coming. Welcome. So we are in Aigialeia, in the northern part of Peloponnese. The region slopes of Aigialeia is one of the most mountainous areas in Greece and some of the most mountainous in Europe. So here all vineyards are planted from 500 meters to 1,100 meters above sea level. All balconies looking to the Corinthian Gulf. Really steep slopes. That's why we are the first member of CMK-IT in Greece of heroic viticulture, because of we have vineyards in really difficult conditions. All this region has all the advantages of the Corinthian Gulf. That means that it's the only place, the only one place in Greece with north exposition. This is very important because Greece is a very hot country. And together with the altitude, that means cool climate, because every 100 meters we go up to the mountain, the temperature goes down like 0.7 degrees. So we have 7 degrees difference in 1,000 meters, for example, we plant Riesling.
Of course. That's
it's a cool climate.
Another good experience, so it's wonderful. Yes, tell us.
It's a cool climate. We have a very big difference of temperatures also between day and night. This is very important. So natural fresh acidities, aromas. We have a very natural air condition because we have a difference of temperature between the sea and the mountain. We have all the time air currents. We don't have diseases. We have the disease, the condition to have diseases once it's 20 years, for example. Okay. Because all the diseases of the vines are fungus.
Yes. Good. So the high humidity creates more problems, no? That you don't have because you have the continuous trickle of air.
All the time air currents.
Tell us a little bit about your soil, the soil of your vineyards. That's very, very complicated and interesting.
Yes, it's very interesting because Aigialeia is the only zone really next to the Corinthian Gulf. Corinthian Gulf is a very big tectonical region. We have a lot of earthquakes. So the research in Aigialeia shows that the slopes of Aigialeia every year rises up like 2 millimeters per year. This is too much. That's why very steep slopes. The soils are more alluvial soils. Aigialeia has 7 rivers, goes down to the Corinthian Gulf, and mostly sandy soils with a very good drainage.
Excellent. And which was your first vintage in this?
The winery.
The winery.
The winery, as responsible winemaker in 2017.
But it was built before from your father?
Of course. Yes. So my father started a winery in 90. He is also an enologist. He studied in Bordeaux. He came back. He was the first enologist in the cooperative of Santorini, the first to create the PTO Santorini in 82. Yeah. And after he came back, he built the winery in 90. In 6 different levels, so all production is done by gravity flow, 100%. And he produced the first wine as prolific in 90. The first vintage is in 90.
That is made by the grapes of
Roditis. So Roditis is the main grape of the region. 90% of Aigialeia is Roditis. Roditis is a very common grape in Greece. It's one of the two most planted grapes, together with Savakiano. But it's very connected with this region because anywhere, generally speaking, is a grape with very high yields. But here in Aigialeia, because of the altitude, because of the soils that are really poor, we have the best expression because the grapes are more concentrated, they're really low yields.
Okay, give us a few hints of the fermentation process and the vinification of your wines. How do you work with the grapes?
Generally, we focus on the vineyard. I mean, Aigialeia has all the advantages of a very expressive terroir. So the work that we try to the winery is not to lose all the beautiful things that we have from the vineyard.
Of course.
So, all by gravity, we cannot specify because each wine has a totally different vinification. But always the same philosophy that we need to keep the terroir in the wine to express in the best way. That's why we work a lot on the vineyard. Our new project, for example, is an organic vineyard of 10 hectares and 1,000 liters. There we have planted in a very high density for Greece. In Greece, generally we plant like 3,000, 4,000 plants per hectare. There we have planted 700, 800 thousand per hectare. Yes. 7,000, 8,000.
And which kind of grape?
Roditis, Mavrodafni, Robola, Riesling, Cabernet Franc. We have Aigialeia because of the different altitudes and soils. Gives you the opportunity to work with different grapes.
I observed that the main characteristic of your wines is the freshness and the high acidity. So, how do you keep this acidity constantly high after the bottling of the wines? Are you making malolactic fermentation or you are boiling this? How do you work on that?
Yes, that's dependent on the grape. It's true because of the cool climate we have a lot of malic acid. Malic acid usually is burnt with a temperature of 32 degrees average per day. So usually in Greece we don't have a lot. Here in Aigialeia always we have like 3 grams per liter, that is a lot. So we can work malolactics to all the wines that we want. Usually we do malolactic to Chardonnay, barrel oak Chardonnay, or Mavrodafni, Cighello, fresh or oak to both. We don't prefer malolactic to Assyrtiko because we like the crispy acidity and because we think that Assyrtiko is a very acidic grape, so we think that it's better to keep the malic acid inside so it's more fresh. And the same for Roditis. So these two grapes.
Do you think this practice gives also to the wines longer life? Do you think that how long can you keep a bottle of your Asprolithi or of your Assyrtiko in the cellar?
Yes, here we have two factors. The first one is that yes, cool climate, fresh acidity. Usually the mountain viticulture gives acidities that they are stable. So the acidity always helps the aging. The second factor is the factor of grape. So Roditis and Assyrtiko are grapes that has always a very good evolution in the bottle. So, for example, Asprolithi is a fresh wine, a young wine that we don't produce in order to age, but always we can keep it for some years easily, 5 years, for example, even if it's a fresh wine of the year. Roditis has that, and the acidity helps that. After we have some grapes that we vinify in order to age, there we have, for example, here you can see the Janus 2001. So red grapes, and we can easily age for 15 years, 20. We don't have experience more than that, so it's difficult to say more. And also Chardonnay oak have like 10 years aging easily.
I'm very curious to taste something of that. Where are you selling your wines?
At this
For
moment,
sure, is Greek the Greek market the most important?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. For us at the moment, it's mostly at Greek. But we have started the last years export to USA, Canada, Korea, UK, Cyprus, Germany, Panama, Brazil, Mexico, review now. So we started now to expand our export activities.
Wonderful. Tell us what I did not ask you that it should be important to say.
Generally for Greece, I think that it's worth to taste Greek wines. The last years Greece emerging as a very interesting terroir. All Greece is rocks and islands, so it's very interesting to see the indigenous grapes in different micro terroirs, always with low yields because of the rocks and island difficult conditions. So never is the same. Each region has something really special. Have a lot of grapes that now we discover, even us. So we have some grapes as Roditis that it's a grape 2000 years ago. We have the first reference from Plinius. So it's a grape that we know better and that has survived 2000 years because it goes very well with the Greek gastronomy.
I am sure that the Greek reality and the evolution of the modern production of wine is going to develop tremendously, and you are one of the examples of that. So, welcome to the winery.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the winery.